Hello and welcome, fellow Paragoners. Today I have a game for you that I would like to deem a tale of two jungles, because I was the Tao jungler for my team and I had a very good game, and the enemy jungler, who was Uruk, otherwise known as Grux, also had a very good game. And it was back and forth, intense action. And an interesting detail about this game is regarding the itemization. A lot of people feel Overprime needs more items. I completely agree. I do like the items that they had in the game. I felt like that they interacted well with each other, and this game showcases something else regarding items. Now, I get a bit of a lead and a head start, and then I end up making some poor decisions in the items that I buy, and I pay for it. So much so that the enemy jungler nearly just takes over the game and wins outright. Here we gank the middle lane. We focus on the Gideon, so our mid laner can have that extra breathing room, and we try to close out the kill. Unfortunately, he escapes. The enemy Han here, I think it's probably one of his first games, because that was a very clear situation where he should have just retreated. He ended up feeding, giving us our first kill, and we're low on mana after that exchange, so we eat the river buff and we continue to jungle. I like this matchup between Tao and Uruk. Now, Uruk is very strong. Oh, wait, Uruk? He's the jungler, isn't he? Yeah, no. Oh, I guess Uruk is the solo laner. I thought he was the jungler. Okay, and then our working title of A Tale of Two Junglers doesn't work. But I have to just double check the items once I pop it back up on screen. But anyway, another gank. And the Uruk comes. Yeah, no, he definitely is the jungler. And part of the reason why I love this matchup as the Tao player is because of the reason you just saw. We're out of position, Uruk wants to beat us down, and because of that little edge, we could just escape safely without any kind of problems. And we strive to utilize that whenever necessary. We're back to farming. Enemy duo here overstays their welcome a little bit, and unfortunately for the enemy Colt, otherwise known as Twin Blast, when he used his dash, we were right in front of him, essentially just making him dash nowhere, which confirmed his death. Back to farming. We're doing really well. We have the first level of our whip. And here Uruk comes, lands the pull, and just beats us down. I mean, we nearly died there. And I mean, that's just how it is. He's doing really well. And we have to watch out. We have to watch out. We wanted to take his blue buff. We were unable to since he was right there, so we just take our own and we start to rotate. Now the Uruk and the dual lane here gank our dual lane to great effect, unfortunately, and there's not really much I can do here. They definitely just won that exchange, hands down. And I just try to defend the tower. But all in all, this game, it's an exciting game. It has a lot of back and forth. This was probably the best match that I've played in all of the Overprime beta test. It might just be my favorite match. And here we're rotating. We see the enemy duo lane now out of position, and a low health Colt would have been nice to kill if I didn't whip that ultimate. That hurt. That hurt. One of the biggest issues with Tao, I think he's pretty strong overall. Oh, here the Uruk invades us. Before I make that point, we'll just finish this battle. And so, yeah, the Uruk wanting to hunt me comes in, and again, that little edge, it just guarantees my safety, and thus we have a good rotation from our teammate, and the Uruk falls, which was good because he was kind of getting some nice momentum there. Now, with what I wanted to say before, I actually forgot what I wanted to say. When it comes back to me, I'll bring it up. But oh yeah, no, I remember. But before that, so we catch the Uruk out here, and our mid laner is with us, and again we whiff the ultimate. Ouch. I try to cut off the Uruk when he tries to go to mid lane, but luckily the Gideon, otherwise Cosmos, formerly known as Gideon, confirms the kill. Now we rotate over to duo to just see if we can help, and we just end up farming, and that's that. But one of the biggest issues with Tao and Overprime is that his ultimate roots himself. Luckily, we got the Uruk there, saving our teammate. And we were at the right place at the right time, and that's a pretty big moment of the game, because if the Uruk got the kill, it could have been pretty scary. And the enemy Cosmos ults, and we just leave. And we continue farming. But you know, that's one of the things that I really dislike about Tao. It's just the self root. It really makes you miss quite a few ults that you shouldn't. And it also feels horrible. We got the Colt that time with our ult, luckily. And our team cleans up Uruk. The enemy team was a bit scattered there, which definitely worked in our favor. And we want to steal the Uruk's jungle. Just as an opposing jungler, you always want to just steal the enemy jungle whenever and wherever you can. Every little bit helps. Every little advantage. A jungle minion here and a jungle minion there leads to half an item, leads to a full item, and maybe more. Generally, I think that if the junglers are evenly skilled, you'll probably never get more than a full item. And luckily, the enemies ganked my teammate and killed him, and I was close enough to clean them up. So a 2-for-1 special, and we are off to the races now. We are snowballing pretty hard. We've played it well so far. Certainly not perfect, but well enough that my team has a pretty significant advantage. And even though it seems like the game is done, it is far from done. And this is another reason why I'm pretty fond of Overprime. Here we catch the Gideon. He's probably taking a bite out of his sandwich while he was backing. He just didn't realize. The Uruk comes here. We're trying to hurt him, but the Narbash, I'm sorry, the Uruk appears. We get some reinforcements from our Colt, and we get the double. One of the most potent combinations in any Paragon successor project, I feel, is Grux Narbash. In this case, Uruk and Ulug. It's just their hero kits synergize so incredibly well. They have some of the best chase down and damage output alongside healing. It's a really potent combination. But yeah, in this game, you'll see that it's really awesome at least how there's like the back and forth. The enemy team is really far behind, but then they kind of claw their way back, and they're quite scrappy. And here I'm fighting, I get the ult off, and nada. That exchange right there did not go well for us. And the enemy Uruk, I think, got a triple there. Either he got a double or a triple, which is the last thing you want to see as the jungler contending with him. And here, I often like to do this in Overprime. I like to sneakily solo the Prime Spirits. I think it's a really, really good move when everybody else is preoccupied. You can, depending on which Prime Spirit you get, which I think we got Fire, which is arguably one of the top two that you want, it can help equalize a disadvantage, or if your team's behind. Generally, when you're talking about the spirits in Overprime, that Prime Spirit, in my opinion, you only really want Wind and Fire, because Fire gives you just physical and magic damage, and Wind gives you cooldown reduction, move speed, and attack speed. So in an ideal world, you would only get those. But I could see the benefit of the others if you know, you could, like, water gives you 2% mana health regen, and if you get like 2 or 3 of those, it can be pretty big, because that's even in combat regen. It's not only out of combat. And I end up taking their left inhibitor because I saw them pushing mid, and I don't know if this was the right decision, because they end up taking our mid inhibitor, which is arguably more valuable than the side inhibitor. But inhibitor for inhibitor, and you could also see the kill counts kind of getting a little bit closer than they were before. And with again, the Prime Spirit, with the previous closed beta test, it was always Prime Guardian that was the focus. Here we have a team fight happening, and we focus the cult. And here, this was a bit aggravating, because the Gideon is teabagging me during his ult, and I'm trying to hit him, and I can't. I'm swinging, and my animations are right there going through him, but because of the height difference, it just doesn't register, which was really frustrating. Really, really frustrating. But I think we made out ahead in that exchange there. I think this is another Fire Spirit, so I think we get 2 Fire Spirits in a row, which is huge. It's a big advantage for doing very little. Now here's where I kind of mess up the items that I want to build, and I end up choosing the wrong ones. Part of the main reason for that is because I wasn't counter building the jungler as well as I should have, and he will end up eating me up as a result, which is quite cool considering they were coming from a position like a disadvantageous position. Muriel comes in, helps to give me some support. I should be hitting the Uruk, who is hitting my Muriel, but I'm slow on that, and I get a little bit divided, but luckily my allied Han appears here and saves the day. But then the enemy Colt just comes and takes me out. Now this game has had probably the best Orb Prime sequence I've experienced so far with my time in Overprime, and I'll be sure to point it out when we get to it. But here they took Orb Prime, and now we're defending. And the enemy Colt, I have no idea what he's thinking here, because he just runs up. Maybe he thought nobody was there, like we all weren't just hiding in the bush waiting for him. Because, I don't know, it's strange. I don't know if he felt like he was quick to try to dunk that, but he took his sweet time. And, of course, big defining team fight occurs. Good ult by Gideon there. We clean some of them up, and here is just Uruk and Ulug doing what they do. Luckily, I don't take no chances, and I down the Uruk with my ult, and watch the Gideon here. So I'm fighting Han. Just I'm definitely stronger than he is, and he ends up paying. But watch the Gideon here. I'm sorry, the Cosmos. See what happens here. This is the I have never seen this happen before. Now, I don't know if you just saw that. What's that Overprime buff doing on the floor there? He was low HP and he just dies from your typical minion wave. Thank goodness I was there to clean up, but my gosh, that could have been a disaster, honestly. Like dropping Orb Prime right outside the dunk pit and it run out of time, or even worse, the enemy team picks it up. That could have been hilarious, but the enemy team cleans up Prime Guardian effortlessly, comes back with a vengeance, and Uruk and Ulug focused me, and the Muriel didn't have to burn the ult here since I made it back to tower. But all in all, good awareness by my teammate. Thank you for helping. And so yeah, and here we're back. All inhibitors are back up. They're taking Prime Guardian. Prime Guardians are equal, and we got a really good game on our hands. It's neck and neck despite the kill difference. And here I want to fight the Uruk, but the Colt appears, and that's a clear situation that I just gotta get out, if I can get out. And luckily Tao, he's durable, tanky, and he can escape extraordinarily well. The Colt makes a mistake going solo. The Uruk wants to clean up. He kills our Cosmos. And the Uruk here, I miss the dash there like a doofus. And the Uruk scores a triple kill. And it's at this point in the game that I'm genuinely concerned, because if the Uruk is popping off, it's the end. It's near the end of the game, or Prime Guardian is back up, and it's right now. It's in anybody's hands. Whoever makes the play, and I see them taking Prime Guardian. I jump on the Ulug, and I tried to type to my team to hurry up to OP, because this is the game-defining moment. Their team collapses on me. I'm able to create some distance. The Muriel comes in to save. However, the enemy Uruk downs Prime Guardian and brings it back to base. And so I'm pushing the left side, because he may have the Prime Guardian buff, but we could still get an inhibitor, which would help us. And this kind of seems like now it's kind of getting out of control. My team is in mid. I solo push left inhibitor. It's very difficult to defend a split push. And here is the Uruk with the Prime Guardian buff, and he very nearly gets us. Very nearly gets us. Enemy Colt gets a double, and I'm backing. Just, there's no point in even risking it, because this is the stage of the game where people are powerful enough to where if we just team wipe, they can run it down and destroy our core. Here again, that potent combo of Uruk and Ulug, healing back up to full, stunning, pulling, just sheer damage. And you might have not caught, I swapped my items there. However, I missed the ult, and then bam. Right now, we are on the back foot, on the brink of what could be defeat. Prime Guardian just spawned, barreling down mid lane. We only have our cult defending here. And, oh, our cult and Cosmos, but they're out of position. And middle inhibitor goes down. Luckily, we were able to clear Prime Guardian before it goes more than that. Our core is damaged, but it's still pretty healthy. And yeah, just back and forth, back and forth. Yeah, we have more kills, but they you know, you can argue that they were playing better as a team. So here we're trying to get a pick, and the objectives are down. Their left inhib respawns, and now it's just, oh, they're taking Prime Guardian. And here I want to focus on the enemy cult, but the Gideon pulls me in, and I'm still looking for that cult just because of the sheer damage he can output. And as you can see, I just got deleted by the enemy cult. So, but luckily for us, we took down both of their big players, the cult and the Uruk, which is massive because the enemy Cosmos and Han weren't doing too hot. And now I make some changes to better counter build against the Uruk. So we should be able to fare much better than him right now, because we just melted last time. I didn't really have the armor that I needed. There's a team fight going on in the mid. I do a little cheeky backdoor. Not really backdoor, but split push. The Uruk comes and the Muriel comes to offer support, but because of how I built my items, I don't see how the Uruk was going to defeat me. I think my first item slows his attack speed, and my second item reduces his crit damage, if I'm not mistaken. And so this was what I should have gone earlier in the game. I actually think if I had this item build earlier, we would have closed it out maybe 10 minutes ago. Just because I would have not only fared better against their Uruk, but their cult as well, and that was their main source of damage on the team. And here we go, the end of the game. I hope you guys enjoyed. I have plenty more vids on the way, and maybe even some kind of discussion videos in the future. Everyone, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe for more Predecessor and Overprime content, and I hope to see you again soon. Fight on, my friends. Fight on.